Hello and welcome to this week's medical terminology live chat, male reproductive system. Very exciting, very exciting. And this is also, I believe, our last live chat for this term. Next week or coming up August 1st, or I don't remember, but your final exam is coming up next. So pay attention. Okay. All right. So the male reproductive system includes the internal and external organs that have two functions. One is its involvement in the reproductive system, and the other is its involvement in the urinary system. And you can see here, and you probably already know, the urethra that goes through the penis is, just like in the female body, connected to the bladder and therefore is used for mictration, which is the medical term for urination. Okay. This same pathway is also involved in delivering ejaculated semen for reproductive purposes. Okay. You can also see, and we're going to talk about these things later, but you can also see here, kind of in the center on the same line as the words urinary system, you see the prostate gland and how it envelops the urethra. And we're going to talk about that a little later also, which is why when there's a problem with the prostate gland, there becomes a problem with both urination and the ability to ejaculate. Okay. All right. So, as I said, the function of the male reproductive system is one, to produce, maintain, and transport sperm, right? As well as semen, which is the protective fluid around the sperm. It's kind of like the train on which the sperm travel. Okay, so they don't get tired because they only have the, tail. So, okay, never mind. That was not a good. Anyway, discharge sperm into the female reproductive tract, as also known as intercourse, and produce and secrete male sex hormones. They do that as well, creating certain male characteristics. So we're going to talk about the male reproductive system in two terms. First, the external male organs. And the penis is the most well-known, most celebrated part of the male reproductive system. It is referred to in three parts: the root, which is the part that's attached to the body or shaft, and then of course the glans, which is the cone-shaped end of the penis. Also, for those who practice circumcision, is the foreskin that covers that glans is surgically removed for those. Okay, so then we have the scrotum, which is a pouch hanging outside the body behind the penis. And this is there are special muscles in the wall of this sac that allow it to contract, tighten, and relax, which move the testicles closer to the body for warmth or farther away for cooling. And if any of you men or women involved in wanting to get pregnant, you've probably already been told that the testicles need to stay cool for better sperm generation. Okay. But sometimes they need to be warm and nestled. All right. The testes And, you know, a lot of people get this confused is the testicles are inside the scrotum. So you have the scrotum is just kind of the pouch. And then inside the scrotum are these two oval organs the size of large olives that are within there. And they're secured in place by the spermatic cord, which is very important because as the testes produce the testosterone, which is the hormone, and the sperm for reproduction, the spermatic cord is their pathway out, up, and around to get into the urethra to eventually hit their target, Miss Egg. Okay, not always their target. All right, then there's epididymis, which is a long coiled tube that rests on the back side of each testicle. So that's inside the scrotum, but on the back side of the testicle. And that's where the sperm cells are stored as they're being, you know, generated by the testicles. And then during sexual arousal, those contractions force the sperm into the vas deferens, and that's created in the testes and then on their path to freedom or making a baby. All right. So now we're going to go inside the male body. The vas deferens, as we just mentioned, transports the mature sperm to the urethra that gets it ready to be shot into space or into a woman, depending upon. Okay. There's a long muscular tube that travels from the epididymis, which is behind the testicles, into the pelvic cavity just behind the bladder. And that's where it kind of hooks up with the urethra. The urethra, as we have been talking about, has two jobs in the male, which we've already discussed, and you probably already know. One is to carry urine from the bladder to the outside of the body. And I put M plus F because that's both male and female. That's what the urethra does in both men and women. However, in the male, when the penis is erect during sexual arousal, the flow of urine is blocked from the urethra right there at the bladder, and that allows only the semen to be ejaculated during the orgasm. And then that's the second job of the urethra, is to carry the semen with the sperm inside of it at orgasm. And that's males only. Women have their own thing. Okay. All right. The seminal vesicles. These vesicles create sugar rich. Isn't that interesting? Fructose, right? We're always told fructose in our food is no good, but here it is. The male human body is actually producing it. And this is what gives, this is funny. So the fructose that's created in the seminal vesicles gives the sperm a sugar high. So it has energy to go on its long journey up, around, out the penis, into the vagina, uterus, up into the fallopian tubes to meet Miss Egg. Isn't that nice? Okay. So I just think that's interesting how fructose, when added into food, no good, but men create it so that their sperm can have that boost. It's kind of like an energy drink for the little spermies. Okay. All right. And the fluid of the seminal vesicles make up most of the ejaculate, because of course that's the fluid in which the little spermies are traveling, because they don't have legs, so they don't have, you know, so it helps them. And the prostate gland. Okay, this is a lovely little gift for the male human body inside. It contributes additional fluid to help nourish the sperm because, you know, they got a long way to go and a big job they got to go when they find Miss Egg. So it's exhausting. So the prostate gland helps out, okay? It's about the size of a walnut in its normal size, okay? And as you saw in that picture in the beginning of our little session today, it's located right below the urinary bladder, okay? So the bladder and the prostate, and of course the urethra goes right through it. It's kind of wrapped around the urethra, okay? Which is why when a man has benign prostatic hyperplasia, known commonly as BPH, which in lay terms means it's an enlarged prostate. So when the prostate gets large, of course, it starts squishing the urethra. It causes stenosis, narrowing of the urethra, which then causes difficulty with urination, which normally is one of the first signs. And then it also causes problems with ejaculation, which means the whole sexy part can be disrupted, which is why men need to see the doctor on occasion, and especially as they get older. It's benign, so it's not cancer, but it's definitely something you want to have taken care of so that the male human body can continue to function as it needs to. Okay? All right, see, that was pretty straightforward. So what you want is keep that foundation strong. Review often. There are too many words, too many pieces, parts of the human body, each with its own name or version of a name. So you want to review often because that's what's going to get it to stick in your head. Okay. And you know what a really good trick is try to explain it to someone else. My dogs are very knowledgeable in anatomy and medical terminology because I explain to them all the time. It's a really good way for you to get it straight in your brain when you have to explain it to someone else. Okay. Use that medical dictionary. No kidding. It's not cheating, and it's easier to make sure that what you're learning is accurate, because accuracy that's the whole thing. That's everything that we do. And whenever you come upon something that you're not sure about or you're unclear about, please email me. I love it when students email me and ask questions. Okay? I promise. All right. So email me. We can email back and forth. I can send you the answers to your questions, or we could set up an appointment to talk on the phone, or we can do a one-on-one Zoom, a FaceTime, whatever works for you and your learning process. Okay? I'm here for you. It gives me purpose. Have a great day.